Capital Views is sponsored by Northrim Bank, Alaska Oil and Gas Association, ConocoPhillips, and Linden.
Hi, I'm Tim Bradner with Alaska Legislative Digest, and welcome to Capitol Views. And a special welcome today to Senator Robert Yundt of the Mat-Su, newly elected to Senate District N this spring. So welcome. Thanks for joining us, Senator.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Senator, you're new in the Senate this year. Maybe you could tell us just a bit about your background and what you've done. I know
Yeah.
you're in the Borough Assembly in the Mat-Su for a period of time.
Yeah. So I've been coming down to Juneau. I think this is my 13th or 14th year, minus COVID, of course. Always coming on the other side of the couch, right, to visit with folks down here about housing issues, affordable housing issues, how we keep housing affordable in Alaska. I served as the president for the Alaska State Home Builders in the past and the Mat-Su Home Builders. So that was typically my reason for coming down here. But yeah, the last 4 years came down three of the times on behalf of the Mat-Su Borough to talk about issues important to our entire community, not just housing. So
And of course, you're in the home building business yourself. Um,
yeah, it was an accident, but yeah, that's where we wound up. So uh,
was it-
I didn't grow up wanting to do it, to be honest with you. My dad's a carpenter, and he's the greatest guy in the world. I love the guy to death, but I did not grow up aspiring to do it. I wanted to be a wrestling coach and a school teacher, but I got hurt pretty bad there towards the latter part of my high school career, and so it just college wasn't in the cards at the time. And you wake up one day and realize that, and you just go to work and figure it out. And so my dad had always worked for other people, but he taught me and my brother how to build and how to be carpenters, and so it just kind of eventually wound up to where I started my own business. And that was an accident too. I had no intentions of doing that. I loved where I worked. I was the happiest guy in the world doing the job that I had been doing the previous 3 years, but it led to me to out of town a lot. I worked out of town one time for 16 straight weeks, another time for 11 weeks, another time for 9. And I had a young family. It was hard on my wife and I and our three babies. And so one day I just decided to start my own company so I could be a better dad and a better husband. So
well, speaking of home building, I guess I just have to ask you this: what's happening now to wood prices and construction prices? I mean,
we'll be fine. Yeah, I think there's panic in the market, but I think we're going to be fine. And a lot of costs are going to come down on some stuff. So we'll see. I'm not too stressed about it. I am hopeful that interest rates come down every day when the stock market drops. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings that has money in the stock market. I don't have a dollar in it, so but you know, when interest rates come or when the stock market goes down, interest rates go down. So we got a generation of young potential American dream living homeowners out there that haven't been able to afford it because rates went up so fast. So I'm hopeful we find a happy medium and rates can drop by a point or two because it'll put a lot of the younger folks in America into homes that just can't afford it right now because of the high rates. So they're down it seems like about 5/8 of a point to me in the last 60 days, give or take half a point to 3/4 of a point, depending on the day. That's a big difference. So hopefully it trends in that direction the next 60 days as well.
Senator, the Mat-Su. I mean, your district is still growing,
Yeah.
unlike a lot of parts of Alaska, and so there's still quite an appetite for new homes out there, new population, new school population.
Yeah.
I guess Mat-Su's booming, I guess, compared with some parts.
Yeah. We take the approach that people can empower themselves better than the government can empower themselves. And so we've got, a very reasonably low mill rate compared to most places in Alaska. Um, we provide the bare minimum, but nothing more. And then we stay out of housing. The Mat-Su Borough does not have a permitting department or any of those type of things. And so building department, all those do is drive up costs. We recognize that private sector inspectors have 100 times more knowledge anyways than non-private sector inspectors. And so we just let them handle it. And so the contractors hire them third party, and then they have to do everything that's required for insurance companies and lenders. Really, at the end of the day, Your insurance companies and your lenders determine what need to be done anyways. Beyond that, I don't think a local government should have any say in it because they don't have the expertise anyways that the lenders and them have. So we've stayed out of housing. The government, I should say, in the valley has stayed out of housing, and because of that, it's very affordable. And when you are looking for a place to move, and you're family, and you're moving to Alaska, what are you going to look at? You're going to look at the price of a house, and you're going to look at the test scores at a school, and um, the valley's winning in those areas, right? And so people are moving to the valley for affordable housing and for better education. So.
Uh,
And I
S-
and that's not gonna stop. That's been happening my entire adult life, and I don't see that stopping in the near future.
uh, Senator, you mentioned wrestling in high school. I understand you're still doing coaching in wrestling.
I've been coaching now, I think 21 or 22 years in the Valley. As soon as I started my business and was able to adjust my schedule to the point that I could do it, then I've been involved ever since. And so I've flown home every weekend, except for one so far. I knew I buy my own plane tickets. Even when my wife and kids came down to visit me, I didn't let the state pay for those tickets, even though they will. I bought my own, but I don't miss wrestling tournaments. I never will. Even if it means I fly home late on a Friday night and come back here on Sunday so I can coach on Saturday, that's what I'm going to do.
A-
And so
And these are high school students.
Recently, middle school season, yeah. The
Oh,
neat thing is about high school season is it runs from the end of football season until right before Christmas break. So actually, serving in the legislature will not affect coaching high school wrestling. So, but I missed our middle school practices this year, but I did not miss the tournaments. So,
well, it's good. It's a good way to keep involved with young people. And
oh, it is, yeah. That we're the most important thing we do as a society is prepare the youth to become the next generation of leaders. That is the most important thing we do. And leaders, there's no such thing as a born leader. I don't care what anybody says. I don't agree with that. I don't believe that for 2 seconds. Nobody is a born leader. We all come out needing diapers and someone to take care of us. You become a leader. You grow into becoming a leader, and sports like wrestling can help with that. So it's something that I talk to the kids about a lot. It's the results in the sport mean nothing. The average winning percentage in wrestling is 50%. Every single match a kid wins and a kid loses. It's not about winning and losing. It's about growing as a person, learning how to compete, learning how to win with, humility, learning how to lose and overcome things. And so it's just like life. Wrestling is a kid an opportunity for a kid to prepare for life is what it is. And so that's the best part about the sport, and every other sport too, by the way, or music, and it could be art. It doesn't matter to me what a kid does as long as they stay busy and that their brain is active and they don't have enough free time left to get in trouble. That's what sports and activities are really for, is to give them a way to use their energy up, because kids got a lot of energy, and if they don't get to use it in a positive way, they're probably going to find a negative way to use it. So
Senator, did you grow up in Matsu or?
I
I,
did, yeah. My family moved there in the I gotta figure out how to um, sorry, my family moved there in the 40s. My great grandpa from Pennsylvania.
huh?
Um, they had family that came up before, but I didn't meet them because they're obviously way older. But I do remember my great grandpa. Um, I think he passed away when I was probably 6 or 7. But yeah, our family's been up there for 80, 90 years. Or
Did,
the family that I can remember. We had family before then, but I didn't know 'em, so.
were you living in Palmer in those days?
No, my family has always pretty much been in Wasilla. Yeah, we've
Just
always, there's a little corner store there called Teelan store that was there forever, and
oh
and
yes.
I'm related to the Teelans. So, for whatever reason, our family just chose Wasilla instead of Palmer.
Oh,
So,
small towns are a great place to live. Well, Senator, thanks for joining us for a few minutes, and look
yeah,
forward to the conversation.
yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for the invite. So.